Last year we went to the Rizzini factory. We saw a lot of very nice guns, but one stood out more than others, and it was this, the Rizzini BR460. Like I said, I knew Rizzini made a lot of very nice guns, a lot of game guns, but I had no idea they made a gun of this quality for clay shooting. And this is their top of the line clay shooting model, the BR460. They also make the BR460 EL, which is an engraved version if you want a prettier gun, and that's very pretty. They also make this action with other people's names and engraving on, and having shot those, they're just as good. First thing, and you might find this an issue, it is 8 pounds and 10 ounces, give or take. It's not lightweight, so perhaps not like the ideal first gun, and not ideal if you're doing a lot of walking. However, for a bigger guy who has some control over a gun and doesn't spend all their time moving across the sky, it feels good. It feels planted. It feels deadly is what it feels. It feels like you're going to get into a stand and break 10 out of 10. That's always a good thing when you pick up a clay gun. That feeling does translate into game shooting as well. The stock as standard comes around 15 inches, but to be honest, Rizzini offer a custom stock option, and I can see a lot of people going for this gun, going for that option. It's not a great deal of extra money, and you get a gun custom built for you. The gun itself retails at £5,600, although that is full retail, so there might be some deals out there if you go for the custom stock option as well. And you can watch our video on the Rizzini factory that will show you a little bit of what you'll get if you go through that process. The wood grade is sufficient. It's sufficient. It's a quality built, yet not excessive looking or extravagant looking sporting gun. That's what it's designed for. You're never going to get much more than grade 2.5, 3 on there, and that's where that wood falls in. If you want pretty, like I said, they do the EL. The drop options from standard are 1.5 and 2.25, which is quite parallel and quite low. What it gives you is a very flat shooting plane. I'm not against that, to be honest. I quite like that. Some people might want it higher. Again, custom stock options are available. Where it starts to get really juicy, apart from the fact that it's a beautifully finished piece of wood, and it's a nice gun out the back, come on, let's not dog on it too hard, is the palm swell. The depth of this grip, and yet the slenderness and the carving and the shaping of the grip is on the money. And that's a nice way of putting it. It's on the money. It fits the hand just lovely without feeling too big, too cumbersome, too nasty. And I've given this to a few people and shot these with a few people, and everyone seems to find the same. It's not too stylized that it's gonna sort of bully certain people into the wrong hand position. It's just nice. It feels good. Somebody picked this up at some point during the design process and goes, yeah, that's quite nice, as opposed to going, this is what is needed on paper, which I think some gun manufacturers sometimes do. The safety catch is, it's a safety catch. It's quite pretty, there's a nice bit of checkering on it, it's quite low profile, but big enough that you can get it. And this is where it starts to get cool because, well, we all like cool things. It's laser checkered, by the way, and oil finished, and the wood metal fit is satisfactory for the grade. I'm sure you could have it taken down to a perfect fit, but that is not entirely the point in this gun. Safety off. All the way forward, trigger comes out. It's a detachable trigger boss action gun, and the quality of workmanship inside is lovely. There's a multitude of reasons why you might want a detachable trigger. It's also got a little selector on it. That's a nice touch. And it's always, it sounds stupid, a lot of guns you can't see inside, and I promise you, you would not want to. This one you can, and it shows that it's nicely put together. In fact, all Rizzinis are hand finished, which is nice. What a detachable trigger does for you on a gun is increases the size of your frame and increases the metal work you have. That increases mid-weight. Increased mid-weight can be quite good, providing that it's balanced out and handles well. And this gun is no exception. I like the texture they've put on the top lever. It says Rizzini, and you've got like just a bunch of, looks like blood cells. I know that's probably stupid, so I'll take that back. It looks like little circles that go down there. It's a nice, interesting pattern. This is black. They do a silver version as well. It has a really very simple engraving with the Rizzini brand name on the sides, with the BR460 on the bottom. I like the natural shape that the action has. As you can see, you've got over the monoblocks and down into the action is actually a rounded oval. So this has got some really nice flowing shape to it. Even the front of the action dips down in a really natural line into the cutaway for these raised side panels. It's pretty. I guess it doesn't really matter, but then nothing really matters. But what it is nice. And a good gun is made of lots of good features that complement each other, right? We've all seen guns with lots of good features that don't, and you're going, what was the point? And you see really great guns or great guns with potential that just lack one or two things. And this one's put together well. The ribs are vented, both top and mid, and that top rib is parallel. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make that much difference. Everyone has a personal preference when it comes to rib, but well, you've got quite a flat stock anyway, unless you're going to go for a raised version. Firstly, you don't notice too much of it, and secondly, it's not horrible. It's quite nice. Would it be nice to have a tapered one? Maybe, if you like that kind of thing. Would it be nice to have a tramline wheel? Maybe, if you like that kind of thing. I guess with Rizzini, everything is possible, and they do like to offer a more custom service than anyone else. I don't know if they offer separate rib options. Probably not, because that's a hell of a lot of work. But it is. You'd live with it. Take the bead out, live with it. It's nice. I have nothing against it whatsoever. It's just, it's different. It feels a little bit old-fashioned. That I don't really understand why I would think this particular rib spec feels old-fashioned. Who knows? The forend is a semi-beaver tail. It's an American rounded, but it's fatter than an American rounded. It certainly fills the hand quite a lot. You'll either like that or you won't. The bottom lever is just a plain black finish. The barrels are monoblock, and this is where it gets interesting for those who don't know what a boss action gun is. And this is it. What happens is it's got multiple lockup points. The actual monoblock locks in, or doesn't lock in, hooks over these two pieces in the action that fit up into this section just here. That allows a larger surface area, larger bearing surface area. This gun locks on a bifurcated lump that goes clunk into the bottom of here and here. It's a good locking system. I presume they do oversizes for when you absolutely hammer this gun, because this gun is clearly designed to be shot a lot. It would be silly if they didn't actually build those features in. Yeah, and they've also built in replaceable hinge discs. That's nice. So it's a fairly simple tool to take those out and put in oversizes when you need. The gun cocks on one cocking piece in the middle. It's very pleasant in every way. Hardened action, quality steel barrels, 18.4 bores. I suppose in the world of overboring, that's interesting. But they do offer a sporting, trap, skeet, and double trap version of this gun with different forcing cones and perhaps different bore sizes. I don't know why that would matter. They also offer it in a fixed choke version, obviously in the trap specs. They offer it in 28 inch, 30 inch, and 32 inch, and for an extra few £100, a 34 inch. That said, this 32 inch gun with multi-chokes, internal, oh, you can order it with internal or external chokes. That's quite sweet as well. This 32 inch gun with chokes actually doesn't feel too bad. When you balance her up, that's 1/4 inch in front of the hinge. That is not bad at all for an 8-pound-10 gun with 32 inch multi-choke barrels. Part of why it's so nice feeling is the midway, is everything about it just feels good. The quality machining is very good. And to be honest, for the price point, I think you would struggle to beat it for a very mature feeling gun. You know, if you put this in a rack of other Boss action guns, it would stand up, and it is one of the cheaper options out there. I think this is a bit of a Rizzini unsung hero. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe there isn't a market for a quality entry-level Boss action gun made to a good standard. We all know that's wrong, because Yildits make one and it's fantastic. I mean, extremely well received. This is just a step up in terms of quality. I like it a lot. I think if you're going to buy one, the answer is probably to go down some customization specs. Why would you buy Rizzini if not to abuse their large sheet of optional extras? And for not a great deal of money over a list priced gun, you can get something that is very much yours. I personally think that's quite a cool thing. From the moment I picked one of these up in the custom shop, oh, they do the Devil gun. In fact, that was my top 5 gun of the year. The Devil gun, which is a 440, which is basically a 460 with custom engraving. That was amazing. They obviously produced the Prestige for William Powell. That was a beautiful, amazing gun. I failed to see how a gun built on this action to this standard with these customizational specs for the price point is not to be admired. I like it. I think more people should know about it. That's why we did this video, to be honest. It's a gun that you don't see very many of, and I think that might be a shame. Holding this gun brings back pleasant memories, and that in itself is a good indicator of quality. Maybe. Who knows? Obviously, it's a personal preference thing. A lot of you will go, £8.10, that's insane. And maybe it is. But then again, for a very competent clay gun that you can take on a driven day, £8.10 isn't that bad. We're all getting bigger. It's only right that our guns do.